can you tell us a little bit about Taxi Mom?
Well, Taxi Mom's been here for 20 years. I built it from scratch. We have the technology that supports us. And as we were building the technology, I didn't realize, I always knew that I wanted to franchise. I just didn't know that support, that streamline that you have to offer. But we do definitely support our franchise owners. That's super important because if you're not being supportive to your franchisee, it hurts your brand and it just hurts your reputation as a business owner because you want to see everybody succeed. And the reason that I got into franchising is because I was the sole provider of my family, and whenever I saw that there was a need for this type of transportation for kids, people just was like, oh, it's just like a mom and pop, you're just going and picking up kids. You are going to pick up kids, but you're also building relationships with the families, and you're providing a special type of service. It's a niche type of service, but you're helping so many families, and just to be able to help the families while you bring in an entrepreneur that has that same passion and drive, they want to be able to do the same thing for the families in their community. So you just kind of see it kind of trickle down, and you're seeing, like I see our franchise owners open their wings and fly because they've never owned a business, but then when they get in and they start learning, their self-confidence really starts to rise, and then they have so many different, ideas of how can we do this, how can we better this. So we're actually working as a unit because we're on the ground level of it. So.
Okay, so again, Louisiana, let me get this straight. So, as a franchisor, you are opening up opportunities for others to be an entrepreneur that ordinarily wouldn't have that opportunity as well. And that's kind of what you're doing with respect to helping grow out the model. So that's one of the things I think that's very important with respect to franchising is that it's a community of interest, right? It's about not only how can I be successful, because we want to make sure that you're very successful as a franchisor, because you spent a lot of money in R&D to develop the systems, but I also want to provide someone else that opportunity to be successful as well. So therefore, if we get behind franchise, we're helping out two entrepreneurs, the concept owner as well as the operator. To me, from a public consensus, that's one of the things about Mary Johnson, it's like we trying to multiply the effects of entrepreneurship. And how can you better multiply the effects if we can develop programs and ecosystems that can help out the entrepreneur one, the concept owner, as well as the franchisee, as opposed to just giving tax credits or various incentives to a single entrepreneur that just keeping it from themselves is not being distributed throughout the economy as much. So I think that's a very, very powerful statement with respect to what you're doing, and thank you so much for developing the concept. Because again, franchising is more than just restaurants. So, I mean, if you don't mind, it's like, how did you get into that business?
I needed the service. So I worked for corporate for 17 years and I traveled a lot. And I was faced with the idea of my son crossing a major intersection. We live in Richardson, so he would have to cross a belt line every day. So we had to buy him a bike and a phone, and every day I wasn't worried about him, but I was really worried about the driver. Because you could get hit. We see kids get hit all the time because they're not paying attention. So I came home one day and I said, hey, I really want to do this. And so what we decided to do is my kids helped me pick out the name. And when we picked out the name, I went and bought 4 real estate signs and I put them at the schools that my kids went to school in, and then the phone started ringing. So now we have a wait list of over 1,600 kids nationwide. And we are servicing